Okay, now we're going to talk about the role of members. So if you are a delegate or you're a voting member of a body, it is your responsibility to establish and maintain the effective meeting structure. So you have a role in this. So if you find that someone else is out of order, you have some tools at your availability to help guide the chair to make sure that order and decorum are present in the meeting. Every member also has the right and responsibility to participate in meetings and the process of parliamentary procedure. Members must educate themselves regarding the constitution and bylaws of the group, because some of those pieces, such as adjournment, might require a 2/3 vote, or it may not be debatable, or it might be debatable. So we have to understand those nuances and look in the constitution and bylaws to find out where your organization stands on those issues. Also, remember, strong group discussion and interaction leads to strong decisions made by the group. When you don't have those discussions, you need to worry a little bit. So there are wild cards there that you can also participate. Don't be afraid. Don't sit on your hands. Now we'll get into the classifications of motions. There are literally 5 classifications of motions, and we'll go through each one of them. There are privileged motions, and there's 5 of those, and you'll want to take a look at the link that we provided on our website to actually look at the chart that we've got in there. We've got them ranked in there for you. Now, these privileged motions do not relate to a pending question. We'll kind of explain that more in detail as we go along. However, they are of such great importance that they take precedence of all other questions, like moving to adjourn, point of information, point of order. Those are some of the example motions that are considered wild cards throughout any discussion that have the top priority of all motions that are out there. Then, the second classification is incidental motions. There's 11 of those. They arise from other questions that is pending and must be decided before the question out of which they arise are made as a result of another motion. Okay, in English, what's that? For example, you've got a main motion out there that you're discussing. Let's say someone wants to make an amendment. That's an incidental motion, or discussion, or deciding how to vote. Those are all incidental motions to the main motion that's out there. Then there's unclassified ones. That's the typical Robert's Rules of Order book definition, unclassified. They're just odd little motions that sit out there and we don't know how to classify them. But they have a definite purpose, but are not classified as any other motion that are out there. Then there's subsidiary motions, applied to other motions for the purpose of appropriately disposing of them. Motion to table is one of them. Refer the motion to a committee. That's another example. Then you have the big one, the main motion. So that's the 5th one. And that's used to bring up new subject matter or an idea to the group. So in review, here are the 5 classifications of motions. The first one is privileged motions. The second one is incidental motions. The third is unclassified. And the 4th are the subsidiary motions. The 5th is the main motion that is out there. Now, privileged motions, going back and reviewing that, they might fix the time to adjourn. They might actually adjourn, take a recess, raise a question of privilege, call orders for the day. Then we have the incidental motions that are just kind of sitting out there. So questions the order and appeal. So for example, questioning the ruling of the chair, suspension of the rules, objection to the consideration of a question, division of the question. Ooh, what's division? Let's say a vote actually happens and it was a voice vote and you're not quite sure how the body actually voted. You might ask for division, and if your rules allow, that might actually require everybody to either raise their hand or stand. So that way the chair and his helpers, such as a parliamentarian or a vice chair, can actually count the number of people that actually voted. Then they can publish those votes. Now you could also have division of the assembly, such as what's going on out there, show us the vote, and also segregate the assembly. Like, we don't know, we have these observers, but they've kind of gone over here, or alternates that aren't supposed to be voting, and they've kind of mingled in with the rest of the group. So we want to kind of clear out the house, find out who the membership is, and re-vote. Now you have unclassified motions. These are the 3 odd ones: rescinding, reconsider, and take from the table. They're kind of the wild card, oddball ones. You might have had a previous meeting or a current meeting where you tabled a motion and now you want to take it from the table and actually act on that motion because you've learned some new information. Or you might want to reconsider a motion that you just previously approved because now you're kind of thinking, wow, we have all this information and you voted in favor of it. Now you have to vote in favor of it, and it had to have passed in order for you to be able to bring up a motion to reconsider. Then you have the rescind. Then, of course, then you have the subsidiary motions. These are the ones to amend, limit debate, commit or refer, lay on the table or postpone indefinitely. And then you have the big main motion that is out there, and that's used to bring up, of course, the main topic of discussion, why you're there and what you're talking about. And remember, there can only be one main motion on the floor at a time. For example, if you were at a political party and you wanted to make a motion to adopt a new resolution that would be part of your party platform, and Joe over there wanted to do it as well, as long as you got yours, you got the attention of the chair, he recognized you, you made the motion, and your motion was seconded, as soon as that second happened, Joe over there cannot stand up and make a similar motion to yours on a different topic. Now, if you wanted to make an amendment, but it has to be within topic, such as, say, you wanted to make a motion that the muffin is now the official muffin for the state of Minnesota and of the party that you represent, and you want to have that in the bylaws or constitution of your organization, and he wanted to have raspberry instead. That one is not germane because you have to consider this motion first, and it couldn't even be offered as an amendment because it changes the main nuance of the original motion. So of course, then, what are some of the steps that you should make in regards to actually making a motion? Number one, stand. Number two, get the attention of the chair. You may actually have to go to a microphone and get the attention. Wait your turn. The other thing is that hopefully somebody will second it. Once that's seconded, then the chair will then open up for discussion or debate. You may have to look at your bylaws and constitution to figure out what are the rules in which debate can happen. Normally under Robert's Rules of Order, it's just free-flowing. There's no time limitations, nothing else. Now, in some party platforms, they may actually have 3 minutes is allowed for debate, or 3 people for or 3 people against. A motion can be made as well. You could get up again, make a motion and say, I want to limit debate for 5 minutes and I want to have 4 people for and 4 people against. And we'll go to the next segment.